At the start of this season, I labeled the Ultimatum as a breakup show. And I think tonight's episode, or episode 6, is probably our best example of that so far. Our four couples are back together, and things did not go well for them. That doesn't mean that no one is going to stay together, but after this episode, how can you be confident about any of our original couples making the decision to remain together? We had that awkward dinner, similar to the dinner where they were making the choice. People are saying things that they probably shouldn't, Colby. And then we had like that little moment where Shanique and Madeline were talking about Randall like he's not even there. And it was all just very bizarre, and I saw nothing good or healthy for anyone's relationship that happened at that dinner table. Let's jump into these couples. Might as well start with Madeline and Colby. I've been kind of wondering, why do they show Madeline so much in those interviews? In the, when she's got the yellow shirt on, doing the interview, why do they show her so much? And I think we're starting to get a picture now, because it really felt like her relationship with Colby completely spiraled out of control. Madeline says that Colby doesn't have the qualities she's looking for, but the chemistry is good. That's code for something else if the air quotes didn't do it for you. And telling Colby that Randall checks all her boxes. If you were in a relationship, if you were in this position and your partner says, hey, the other person I was with checks all the boxes I'm looking for, to me, that screams, hey, I'd rather be with this other person instead of you. Somehow, this wasn't the low point for this couple this episode, because Madeline, well, actually, this was like the invasion of privacy episode. We had more than one person snooping through someone else's phone to see exactly what they've been up to. But Madeline, she got Colby's watch thing, I believe is what she called it, looking through his messages and discovering that he was messaging with other people. We had that whole situation earlier in the season with Zay and Colby talking about Colby making out with people at the bar. And apparently Colby was messaging with someone for multiple weeks. They'd made out, they'd talked about their relationships and stuff. He'd badmouthed Madeline to this person, and Madeline finds it and sees it all. And then this whole storyline starts of how Colby apparently cheated for Madeline. So he cheated for and because of her. Very, very bizarre in my opinion, because you signed up for a show where you were basically supposed to go and cheat for 3 weeks, I guess. But Colby felt like he wasn't getting enough of the cheating, so he had to outsource the cheating with a third party. And I mean, I guess it makes sense in a super twisted way, but Colby, could you be any dumber? It just doesn't make. It's just ridiculous, and he's doing his best to blame Madeline for his actions, and it's not coming off well for him. And we saw both of them say that she'd be better off to just walk away. Both Colby and Madeline said that she should walk away. And it kind of got the feeling that Colby was starting to just self-sabotage a little bit, doing everything in his power to kill that relationship. And overall, these two are just toxic with each other. And I think the absolute best thing is for both of them to walk away. You know, I know there wasn't much there between Colby and April, but honestly, I think that they're way better together than Colby and Madeline, and vice versa. Madeline and Randall were way better together than Madeline and Colby. All right, that's enough about them. Let's jump over to our next couple, Ray and Zay. Right off the bat, seemed like things were tense between them, but they did start cuddling together pretty quickly. To me, Zay is very clearly a jealous person, but he doesn't see the need to answer directly about what happened with him and Shanique. So fine for Zay to be mad and jealous about what happened between Ray and Jake, but not okay for things to be the other way around. Then we had that whole scene with Ray and Zay having lunch with Ray's mom and Ray's friend. You know, beyond Ray's mom trying to steal the spotlight and be this therapist for their relationship, this was just seemed like this was terrible for their relationship. I kind of got the vibe that Ray was defending Jake a little bit, which is not what you want to see if you're rooting for Ray and Zay, because like she's already being defensive of Jake, and they're not even together. Zay apparently thought it was fine to say, is that a non-negotiable to be heard to Ray? And that just blew me away. Is it a non-negotiable to be heard? Like, just think about that. Like, hey, would it be all right if we get married, but I just never listen to anything that came out of your mouth? Do you think that would be acceptable? Is that a non-negotiable to you? Absolutely ridiculous, and absolutely time for Ray to move on from Zay. That whole scene, that whole situation was just way too much, and honestly, I just think everybody, I gotta have a sneeze here, everybody. My nose is going wild. Okay, I think disaster averted. I just think these two need to move on. You know, feels like these 3 weeks really pulled up everything that was wrong and not working with their relationship, and is going to continue to not work and be wrong with their relationship. Jumping on, let's move over to April and Jake. So I think this whole episode was bad for them. You know, we started with April sharing stuff on Instagram and apparently exchanging info with some random guy. That seems pretty weird to me. You know, kind of echoes the Colby situation a little bit, where he's outsourcing his experience. Sounds like maybe April was thinking about doing that as well. You know, she should not be out there exchanging her number with other random dudes, or I guess it was Instagram contact info. And that whole scenario ends with April telling Jake to get out of her apartment and April going to sleep on the couch. Another invasion of privacy situation where April gets a hold of Jake's phone after he comes home drunk and leaves his phone unlocked, and she finds a video of Ray twerking. Now, Jake probably shouldn't have that on his phone, but, you know, not over the line. Like, maybe inappropriate, not over the line. And additionally, like, them being intimate, Ray and Jake, was kind of the point of the first 3 weeks. You know, them exploring a new relationship, that was totally the point. You know, that's why, like, Colby and April outsourcing their experience, you know, exchanging contact info, or Colby making out with and messaging with somebody not part of the show is cheating. You know, and I know that may sound silly since this whole first 3 weeks was all about cheating on your partner, but that's not what they signed up for. And to me, that's why it's an issue. You know, they went beyond what the two partners had agreed to and betrayed their trust. And you know, I I don't want, like, I don't want this couple. I don't want April and Jake to work out. Like, I honestly feel like Ray and Jake were probably so far the highlight of the whole season because they immediately clicked. They seemed great together, and seems silly to me for Ray to go back to a terrible relationship with Zay, and for Jake to go back to a terrible relationship with April. Just move on, everybody. You know, let's go all around. Let's just have 4 full-on breakups. The last couple, which I haven't talked about yet, was Shanique and Randall. You know, they weren't really featured as much in this episode. We had enough drama going on with the other 3 couples, but one thing that stuck out to me was Randall asking Shanique, "Are you really happy?" And her really not being able to give an honest answer to that question. Just things aren't as bad for Shanique as Randall are as the other couples are, but definitely lots and lots of cracks forming already in that relationship. All right, I rambled on way too long for this recap, but I'm going to hop out and hopefully finish up these last 2 episodes here today. So as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we will see you later.